Pro Wrestling Weekly. For over 20 years, the revolutionary force in sports entertainment radio talk.
Is cooking.
WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly,
the longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
You really do sound like a
grizzled old vet. Is that where you were going with there?
Yes.
To not get you in trouble?
Oh, I'll get in trouble at some point. Believe me, I'll do something.
Well, to keep you out of trouble in this case, at least.
And now, here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon and Lucas DeSangro.
Ooh, I'm getting good at this radio thing.
Yeah! It only took you 5.5 years.
I'm not good at it yet. I'm starting.
Yeah.
Only slightly.
Slowest escalator upward.
Shut up!
There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Twitch.
Hello.
How you doing this week?
Good. Doing fine. My headphones are, they're not working, but we're going to get there.
Okay, so
It's all gonna be okay.
I should speak a little louder and be away from the microphone so you can hear me here, or...
Oh, I can hear you just fine.
You can hear me just fine?
I just won't be able to hear any drops or sounders or Ed. You know.
Well, we'll fix that over the course of the next little bit here. Hey, Cole Cabana, how you doing? Just shattering the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Breaking it like Stone Cold's glass right off the bat here.
That's what I do best, that and derailing.
You're not wrong about that. Definitely not. But a lot to get into this week. It is Survivor Series weekend.
Yes.
And we've got our predictions certain to go wrong for a little bit later. And also a little interesting tidbit tonight as well with NXT TakeOver War Games.
Yes.
Definitely.
What a weekend it's about to be. I love weekends like this.
Where there's just all kinds of things doing and going on and that
Yes.
sort of thing.
Jim Norton's in town. It's just...
Oh, comedian Jim Norton. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, tonight's sold out, and tomorrow night is Survivor Series, so maybe next time. But still, it's just nice to know he's in the area, you know.
Yeah. You might bump into him walking around somewhere.
I don't know, maybe.
Stranger things have happened.
Yes, they have.
But no, we've got the NXT takeover. I don't know why my mind is all over the place. I guess I should, since we're in the midst of shattering the fourth wall, I've had some family medical issues to deal with prior to coming on the air here, so I'm a little out of sorts. It may not sound it, but pressing on here as that's what we do. But yes, we've got War Games tonight.
Strange game. The only winning move is not to play. How about a nice game of chess?
No, not that War Games. Although that is a good movie. Matthew Broderick, Ali Sheedy,
I'm
Dabney
well
Coleman.
aware.
And not to be confused with Baron Corbin, but Barry Corbin as General Behringer. So the best lines in the movie, and I can't say a one of them. Something about a spark plug. We'll leave it at that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you know that
Bob
one?
Holly?
No, not Bob Sparkplug Holly. Although I don't know if I don't think he'd react the same way if Behringer said what he. Well, never mind. Well, you can look up the movie quotes and just go from there on that. But a couple of cohorts of ours are going to be featured tonight on the War Games lineup.
Yes.
And, well, in one case, singles action, the other, triple threat action.
Yes.
Yeah, Matt Riddle taking on Finn Balor, and,
yes.
Yeah, Twitch McDuck is definitely going to be thrilled on that one.
I'm going to be rooting for my
Oh yeah, I'm sure you're torn on that one.
No,
because
no,
they're
I'm
both
rooting for Riddle.
You're rooting for Riddle.
I like Balor, but
yeah, they're both your boy. So,
well, Riddle's more my boy than Balor.
Yeah, you've at least trained with Riddle.
Yes, and you know who else I'm rooting for tonight in that triple threat?
Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne versus Killian Dane versus Damian Priest in the triple threat match to determine the number one contender for the NXT title, which will occur tomorrow night at Survivor Series.
Yes. So I'm rooting, obviously, for Damian Priest, formerly known as Punishment Martinez.
Former coach at the Monster Factory, so
Yes.
that's where the loyalty ties in.
Yes.
And that's why I had to tongue-in-cheek say you were rooting for Pete Dunne.
That was good. I like that.
That was good? Yeah. Well, you do like that British style. I mean...
Oh, I love that British style. But I can hear myself now. That's wonderful. Thank you, Ted. Thank you.
Ted Efaw doing yeoman's work as always. He's got the Country Roads coming up at 1 o'clock. Yes.
Right. I do love that British style, but I'm more terrified of Damian than I am of Pete Dunne also. Not that I don't think he could care either way, but, just for appearance's sake. But no, honestly, I want him to win. It would be really cool to see him on WWE television 2 nights in a row.
Oh, absolutely. And
he and Adam Cole would have a phenomenal match.
Without question on that as well. And while I do have a semblance of tightness with Damian as well, there is that small fear that he would kick the brown out of me. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Should I do the same thing with the Jewel and play the flush sounder on that too?
No, I think...
No? Okay.
I think we're good.
Yeah, just, again, appealing to the censors, folks. Appealing to the censors. Keeping the job. Had this thing for closing in on 21 years, and we'd like to keep it that way. But, yes, also the 2 respective War Games matches, men's and women's.
Yes.
What a twist.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah, Team Ripley of Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Mia Yim, and Tegan Knox.
Yeah, no Dakota Kai. It's interesting.
Against Team Baszler. Yeah, Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, Kaylee Ray, and Bianca Belair.
Yeah. It's this is going to be a great match.
Well, I've always been a fan of that War Games, the Match Beyond. Going back to the WCW days, it was a brilliant creation of Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
One of many brilliant creations of Dusty Rhodes. And yeah, the format, starting off with one representative from each team, they fight for 5 minutes, and then based on the flip of a coin for 2 minutes, another wrestler comes in, so it's a 2-on-1 advantage. Then it evens up to 2-on-2 until all 4 are in. Now, the one thing that WWE does different, they don't have something that closes on top of the cage.
Yeah.
But yeah, then it's first fall wins. Although I'm curious to see, I believe I'd seen, this was more, I forget if this was a report or a rumor, so I didn't really talk too much about it, but I believe that Cody Rhodes had put in a trademark for the Match Beyond to potentially use that as AEW's version of a War Games match, since WWE has the War Games trademark.
It's interesting. Pretty sure, though, that MLW has used the name War Games before, haven't they?
It's hard to say. I don't know if it necessarily gets, when it comes to the trademarking and licensing and things of that nature and copywriting, where is the line drawn with that? I mean, obviously WWE is not going to be able to secure a copyright on the word "the," for example. Although it would be funny to see them try.
Challenge accepted.
I hope not, McMahon. I really... That'd be about as winnable as your battle with the World Wildlife Fund for Nature. I know. That's a sore subject.
Those pandas. They've had it too good for too long.
Yeah, those pandering pandas. No, just stick with your football.
Chew your gum.
Basically. Also, for the men, the Undisputed Era taking on Team Ciampa. with a, I believe, yet-to-be-determined partner.
Yet-to-be-determined fourth member.
Yeah.
But so far, the members...
Who's the fourth man? But whose side is he on? No.
It's Taz! Oh, no.
But yeah, another factory historical name, Dominic Dijakovic is going to be in there.
Dijakovic,
Or Dijakovic, yeah. I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable on that one.
I hate that. They could have just said Dijakovic.
Yeah, that's... Yeah,
Dijakovic. Why? Now it's just thinking you're saying Dijak and then adding Kovic. No work was done there.
Yes, but alas, no work was done there. Not at all. And then, well, later we'll have our predictions certain to go wrong for Survivor Series. As for the moment, what do we got here? They're probably going to... I don't know. Are they going to sneak one more on here? And there's going to be a lot going on in this pay-per-view. I hope they're not going to make this another 5-hour Mania exclusive here, just because with the respective Survivor Series matches, you have the potential for up to 14 falls in one match. And there's 2 of them, plus the other 6 matches on the card. You are nodding furiously at me. Or fervently.
Not furiously.
Fervently, I meant to say. Yeah.
It's very...
I put the emphasis on that wrong syllable, too.
You just used the wrong word.
Shh. Yeah, I'm taking a page from the librarian's book on that one.
Which one?
Wow.
Oh, I didn't mean to put you on the spotlight.
That was a Richard statement there. Okay.
Well, there's 2. There's Leva Bates and there's Peter Avalon.
Sorry, you know how I identify. Stop it.
Oh, okay.
No? Too much?
Playing the fool here, I will. I do it
It's what you do best, exactly.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, well, we're going to foolishly move on here. We'll get to Survivor Series a little bit later. There turns out to be another... We mentioned the potential Match Beyond trademark, but there looks to be another trademarking that's been acquired, and it'll make for some very interesting television coming up in January. And something that low-key and not so low-key I kind of wish I was involved in. But that's because I want to be somewhere warmer in January. But that's... So I had a taste of it earlier this month in Disney, and to go from 85 degrees there to 39 here,
yeah,
it feels like Sideshow Bob walking into the rakes every time.
I always think of Sideshow Bob in that Cape Fear episode where he's got the 2 alligators. Oh, right.
Yeah, and then just have them go. That works too. I don't know. It's because the cold it smacks you in the face like you stepped on a rake.
Yes,
it definitely does. And of course, we've also got to get into your boy next segment.
Which one?
CM Punk, of course.
All right.
With the Backstage debut, well, I guess official debut, announced debut, as opposed to the surprise appearance, and some of the back and forth that went on that. We've got a few clips from FS1 we'll get into, and I'm curious to see your analysis of that here. Plus, we'll get to Ed from Northeast Philly on the other side, take a look at the local scene, and another Jimmy getting his mouth in trouble, not Norton. Yeah. We'll get into that one, and I think you have an idea of which one it is, but hoo boy, I'm tugging at the collar on this one. We had
a very lengthy meeting beforehand, trying to figure out how we were going to approach this.
I wouldn't say it was a lengthy meeting. It was a short meeting with a lot of just casual conversation afterward.
Maybe it was just like that in my head.
That's a dangerous place to go.
Yes, it is.
And that's why we try to avoid it as best we can. Here on Pro Wrestling Weekly on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Elena had another asthma attack. She's really sad to miss school again.
Asthma can be triggered by allergens from common pests.
I just can't shake this fever.
Mosquito bites can cause West Nile and Zika virus infections.
Sorry, boss. I'm going to be out of work for a while.
The CDC estimates that more than 300,000 Lyme disease cases spread by ticks occur in the U.S. each year. Don't let pests force you to take a sick day. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association and the CDC.
Sky Motor Cars in Westchester is a different sort of dealership. All it takes is one look at their Highline pre-owned vehicles that people all over the country want and need. Owner Brett Schulter, make sure you don't spend a dime of your money before you purchase the car. Sky Motor Cars allows you to make all the decisions regarding your next vehicle. At Sky Motor Cars, you never have to spend more than necessary. Visit SkyMotorCars.com today or call 610-918-7225.
Chickies and Pete's, your favorite local sports bar and crab house. Holidays and every day of the week. Book your holiday parties right now. So many options. Get the holiday gift that always fits and always gets returned. Chickies and Pete's gift cards. Schedule the Chickies and Pete's Crab Fries Express food truck to cater your party or corporate event. Chickies and Pete's To Go Catering is always the hit of the party. Chickies and Pete's, proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Click chickiesandpete's.com for locations.
Tune in every Wednesday during Flyer season for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Host Paul Jolovitz is joined by co-host Bernie Perrott, Brad Marsh, or Scott Hartnell, and a different Flyers guest each week from a Chickies and Pete's location near you. Go to WBCBSports.com to learn more and watch the show live every week. On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross, live from Chickies and Pete's every Wednesday at 6 p.m. on 610 ESPN and 1490 WBCB.
Did you know that 1 in 7 kids ages 10 to 18 will run away from home? 46% of runaways will spend at least 3 days on the streets. In 2003, 2.8 million youth reported that they had a runaway experience. As long as there are children, there will be runaway children. Know the signs of a child in distress. Look for rebellious behavior, an accumulation of money, and changes in eating and sleeping behavior. This public service announcement is courtesy of Valley Youth House in Bucks County, providing runaway children with a safe shelter since 1973.
When an Eagles player gets hurt, the team takes care of him. When you get hurt, the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will take care of you. They understand that a severe accident can be a life-altering event. You need a reliable teammate to fight for you. The attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will get you great results. And if there's no recovery, there's no fee. Contact them today at 215-750-0110 for a free consultation. 215-750-0110 for a reliable ally that's on your side.
He's got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so he might have to...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
You're breaking kayfabe.
Breaking kayfabe. Gonna break something else during this commercial.
There we go. That's what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry and Twitch here.
Hello.
Doing things,
yes.
Talking stuff.
Yes, I enjoy the talking of stuff.
I got nothing. I'm just... my mind is a little elsewhere today, but yeah, for understandable personal reasons. So hoping that Mom gets well soon. We'll leave it at that. But let's go ahead and get to look at the local scene, courtesy of Ed from Northeast Philly.
Hey.
Yes,
Can
Ed.
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Welcome to the Ed from the Northeast show.
Jeez, now we've got it's NXT's taking over, and apparently so is Ed from the Northeast.
I'm kidding.
NXT, Ed from Northeast. It kind of sounds the same.
I guess.
Ed Northeast, Ed Northeast, Ed
My goodness.
What the hell's going on out here? There's a convention going on right now in South Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena.
Yes, the Collector Fest.
Good seats still available for tonight's show at the arena, House of Hardcore.
Yeah, and still time to get on down there. Is the Convention and Fan Fest going on till 3 o'clock? And quite a few. As I'm looking at this lineup, I'm going, man, do I hop in the car right at 1 and try to make it for the last hour?
And do I go with you?
Well, yeah. I mean, with the names that are here, oh man. I mean, just looking at the list here. I mean, Masahiro Chono, Magnum.
What? Chono's there?
Hey.
What?
Uh-oh.
Get in the car, Fearon. We're going now. We are leaving. Sorry, Ted. Chono's there? Oh, we're going.
We'll talk on the way down. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we turn this into a remote really quickly?
Make him walk.
Bill Redner's good. I don't know if he's that good though. But
that's fair.
No, you're awesome, Bill. The cornerstone of WBCB for a long time. But no, Magnum TA is there. Sid Vicious.
TA?
Oh,
yeah, wow. Magnum TA, Sid Vicious, Billy Jack Haynes, Tito Santana, Lanny Poffo, the genius, full of glory and renown.
Renee Michelle.
Yeah, Renee.
Manny Fernandez. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm scrolling up and down here
Dr.
from the
Tom's
website.
there.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy.
Darby Allin.
Ooh, Darby. Oh my goodness. But yeah, Billy Jack Haynes, Nikita
Darby
Koloff.
Allin. Can I just say something about Darby Allin really quick? He is very quickly becoming one of the... I think he's got the potential to be a huge, huge star in AEW. There's already people like painting up their face like him and everything. Like he's becoming insanely over, and just it's sort of a natural thing. I feel like
it's organic.
J.J. Dillon. Ooh.
Yeah, J.J. Dillon, Greg the Hammer Valentine,
Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Alicia Toot. Ooh, she's gonna be there. That's the interview queen.
Yeah, Jake the Snake Roberts, Barry Windham,
Billy Gunn,
Crime Time.
Ooh. Doug Gilbert,
Bill Alfonso.
Yeah.
Hopefully sans whistle, although I doubt it.
Bill Apter.
All three on the. That's what I was trying to think of his name. Bill Apter.
Yeah, Bill Apter, Shane Douglas, Sabu, Justin Credible. You got to have some of the ECW OGs in there. Snitsky, it wasn't his fault. Hall of Famers, Ron Simmons, Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Yeah, Beefer's there.
I think you mentioned the same name too.
I didn't see it pictured here. Yeah, Justin Credible,
Sabu,
Stan Hansen. Somebody let Danny know.
Oh no, we did already.
Oh, we did already. Okay. Yeah, I figured you did last night. Because of that medical thing, I wasn't able to make the Monster Factory open house last night.
Yeah, James Ellsworth.
Yeah, I mean there are names that aren't even listed on here. So I mean that just shows. I mean the names that are Dan Spivey, Waylon Mercy. Yes, at least that's how I remember him. The inspiration for Bray Wyatt's original gimmick.
Yes.
Well,
someone buy that man a steak dinner.
Among Tom Pritchard. I mean, my goodness, there's so many names, so much going on. It's going on for the next. The Blue
Meanie!
Good old Meanie. Oh,
tell him Lucas and Fearon said hello. I miss him.
He'll be like, who and who? Well, no. He at least remembers me.
Wow. Thanks, Fearon.
Well, I was...
The man with no name.
I mean, I would certainly hope so. He did. Yeah, the man with no... Yeah, the man with no name, the man with no face, Dizzy Boulder.
Zodiac.
Yes. The Butcher, yes.
No. Yes.
No, that was a jab at you, Lucas. I'm sorry.
He has a name. He has a face, too. Yeah.
I have multiple names. A lot of them we can't say on the air. Thank you, Fearon, for the rim shot.
Needed to get one in there.
Yes. Speaking of Japanese legends, though, did you hear something that
Okay.
Sorry. You know what? We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it in a bit.
Alrighty. So what else we got in the local scene here, Ed? Now that
Kane is going to be on November 26th in Ridgewood, New Jersey, for a book signing at Bookends, starting at 6 p.m. with Mayor Kane.
Yeah, it should be Bookends in Ridgewood, New Jersey. That's Tuesday, the 26th is coming Tuesday. Yeah, signing his new book, Mayor Kane, My Life in Wrestling and Politics.
Yeah. Politics and wrestling.
Chicago has been busy the last 2 months, I noticed.
You don't say.
They had like 3 pay-per-view events in the last 2 months.
Now, yeah, Ridgewood, as I'm looking here, is pretty north in North Jersey here as I'm looking, so that may be a little bit of a hike. Not too far from Yonkers, New York.
Yeah.
That's
Super
way up
Crazy
there.
Pro Wrestling comes back next year at Tolman Jones in South Philly, right around the corner from the arena. I should have more information next week on that.
All right, should certainly be a goodie at Tollman Joe's, I see here.
And me and a couple people are working on a pay-per-view party, either at the arena or at Next Roast Beef.
For which pay-per-view? I mean, a little late to get a jump start for Survivor Series, I would imagine.
It'll probably be
Maybe the Rumble?
Rumble or the one here in Philly.
Elimination Chamber in early March.
Yeah.
Yeah, as that was found out a week ago Friday, that Elimination Chamber would be coming to the Wells Fargo Center on Sunday, March 8th, on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the HOH is coming here on the 15th of December.
15th of December. Wow.
Yeah. Ring of Honor. I meant to say Ring of Honor.
I was gonna say that something didn't quite add up there.
I probably said it wrong.
It said HOH. I'm thinking, wait, House of Hardcore? Don't they use? You know I'm off my game, so you're just trying to sneak little things past me, Ed. I see what you're up to here.
That's dishonest, Ed. Tawdry and wrong and not appreciated.
2 more things. Takeo is in Northeast Philadelphia at the Wrestle Factory today at 3 p.m. And I think that's about it.
Yeah, as far as the title of the event, it looks like they just have a question mark.
Yeah.
Literally, they have the logo with a question mark.
There's a lot going on today. It's hard to keep up with all of it.
It makes sense as, next weekend is Thanksgiving weekend, so there's going to be a lot of hustle and bustle, people trying to get everything out of the way now. That totally makes sense. It's probably going to be the same thing. There are going to be a lot of shows in the early part of December, probably on the 7th or 14th, because the closer we get to the holidays, the more likely people will be traveling and things of that nature, even though the holidays respectively fall on Wednesday this year, Tuesday into Wednesday.
And I think there's a show that you're going to, Monster Factory, or is that next week?
That is the 14th of December.
14th.
That is 3 weeks from today.
I thought there was one today.
No, they just had the open house last night.
That's about it.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for taking a little time out of your time there at the Collector Fest to chime in here, and it is greatly appreciated. And yes, enjoy your Thanksgiving.
I have a full report next week.
We'll catch up with you next week. Back out of the hustle and bustle there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for calling here. So let's get on to your boy here, if I may.
Yes.
CM Punk. He Well, before we even get into his appearance on Backstage, he had promoted it in an interesting way, noting, "It is weird trying to catch up on 5+ years of wrestling. I'm doing what I can. There's bright spots, mostly women from what I can tell. There's bad, too. I'm going to talk about it, and no one is safe. Join us." That was a tweet that he threw out there. And in the tweet, he added Renee Young, WWE on Fox, Booker T, Paige, Vince McMahon, and strangely enough, AEW owner Tony Khan to the tweet. Which Khan had a hilarious response to the tweet. I'm sure you heard about this, Twitch, but he said...
oh, I did. I saw it unfold.
He said, "No one is safe. Sounds like a plane full of wrestlers in Saudi Arabia." Yeah, had to, again, throw that in there. That's why I had that set, by the way.
Yes.
Now, before we get into CM Punk's analysis on Backstage, that Tony Khan tweet, it was initially a one-liner, but it led to as you said, led to a little bit of a back and forth involving, of all people, Randy Orton.
Randall didn't take too kindly to Tony Khan's, his response.
Yeah, so he ended up tweeting back, "What's this whole thing about glass houses and stones?" and included a link to a story about Tony Khan's father, NFL franchise Jacksonville Jaguars owner Shahid Khan, being investigated for corruption leading up to the sale of a football club in the United Kingdom. That's soccer for those uncultured swines, I suppose. Now, the younger Khan ended up responding, quote, "I thought you only tagged me in your post when you were grasping for leverage. That article's over a year old and is about baseless claims made about my dad years ago. That's the best you can do. Nothing. Meanwhile, in the time since that was written, you used the N-word on Twitch.tv. Had to add the .tv in to make sure that there wasn't any misconstruence of my co-host here.
It is. Yeah, because Orton would be on top of me shouting expletives.
Yeah, shouting slurs.
There'd be a lot of other questions in play.
Yes, the first of which being why.
Well, when you want to get ahead in this business, and we're going to stop.
Yeah, that's a pretty smart idea. But going back to Punk and Backstage, he had quite a bit to say on his long-anticipated appearance, the spotlight being a one-on-one sit-down interview with Renee Young, where she had asked about, among other things, what brought him back, and we have his answer here, courtesy of FS1.
What brought me back? I don't think this job existed even 6 months ago, let alone 6 years ago. So this is just something that got offered to me. And, if you never ask, the answer is always no.
Sure.
So somebody kind of floated the idea, and I didn't immediately go, oh, no. And something inside me went, okay, so if that wasn't your first initial reaction to just be like, no, I was like, oh, that could be kind of interesting. And it snowballed from there. Here we are.
So, yeah, here we are indeed. Now, she would also go on to ask about his new role with Backstage and Fox and everything, and we go back to FS1 for this answer.
I think wrestling and what I'm doing now are two completely different things, obviously. I do not work with, have any kind of a relationship, have talked to anybody in WWE. This is strictly a me and Fox thing. And I think that's a very interesting dynamic because here I am, somebody who is not employed by WWE, and let's get down to it.
Yes.
I get to criticize the product. And that's something I've always done. I think that's what made me popular.
Mm-hmm.
Because to a fault, I have no filter in between my mouth and my brain. I've always been this way. And it's just something that now I feel maybe I can do and maybe kind of find my way in the business again, because there's a lot of stuff that's broken. And I think what the product needs, what the show needs, and what the fans need is somebody without those ties to worry about if they're going to get punished for saying something, just to tell it like it is. It's corny, voice of the voiceless, right? I have no ties, and nobody's going to fire me. I'm not going to get jobbed out, suspended, sent to TV, but told I'm not needed. All these things don't exist in my world anymore. Here I am. If it's good, great. I'll pat you on the back. We'll talk about it. I'll be excited about it. If it's bad, you're probably going to be mad at me.
So there you have that. That's a lot to soak in.
Yeah.
And he's Like the old Aaron Neville song, telling it like it is.
Indeed he is.
Look at me referencing a 50-plus-year-old song.
That's nothing out of the ordinary. It's on brand for you.
Fair point.
I was going to say, don't act surprised. Where's the lie, Fearon? There is none.
No. Because like Punk, I also tell it like it is.
Yes.
Although...
As long as it's in the boundaries.
Well, the only filter that I have is knowing where the boundaries are and staying within them.
I was going to say within the bounds of a 50-year-old song. I'll see myself out.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But before you do, he was asked...
not out of the woods yet? Okay.
Oh, no. He was asked the inevitable question that has been on everybody's minds, and for you as a longtime fan was on your mind for, well, probably up until about 2015, and then you gave up. Well, we'll go back to Renee Young and CM Punk from FS1.
Are we going to see CM Punk step back in the ring? I mean, we've got Survivor Series in Chicago. Royal Rumble's just around the corner. I mean, people love that element of surprise of Rumble.
So regardless of what my answer is, there's somebody that's always going to be upset with it, right? And as I've stated, I work for Fox. I haven't talked to anybody in WWE. It's nothing that I'm actively pursuing or interested in. But I'm 41 years old, and I've lived an experienced life where I know to not say no.
Sure.
But that's going to be a bridge that is going to have to be built, and it might take as long as building the Great Wall of China, because there's some hurdles. There's some hurdles there.
But if I'm somebody on the internet right now, I can officially say, so you're telling me there's a chance.
See? Don't be that person, Renee.
I'm sorry.
Don't be that
it's my
person.
job to be that
They're going to start chanting my name at shows, and
because that stopped.
People are going to be upset about it.
Oh, because that stopped.
Yeah,
I love her. She's great.
I was going to turn the microphones on, and then you just burst out into laughter. I hesitated for a second because wasn't expecting it, that's all. I figured you'd heard all these clips multiple times over, so I didn't realize that some of this is new to you.
I've not been able to analyze and overanalyze like they're the JFK tapes.
Well, we are going to go back and to the left to the clips one more time here, as he was asked. Well, this is the bread and butter of what he was brought in for. His opinion on the current WWE product.
I think of the product as the same when I left it. I think wrestling could be so much better. It could be so much more. Obviously, there's a reason myself, yourself, everybody who puts on a pair of boots fell in love with professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. And I just think, regardless of what I think of the product now, the opinion is the same as when I was there. Like, stuff's overproduced, stuff's micromanaged. I think the best characters, the people that the fans love the most throughout all of wrestling, are the characters that they get to figure stuff out themselves instead of being told what to do by somebody who maybe never done anything or never been anywhere and never drew money, brother. You know, so I think there's a lot wrong with it, but I see a lot of bright spots.
So what are some of the bright spots? What's something that you're seeing right now that you are digging?
I like all the women. I don't like the forced women's revolution thing. I just let the women be the women, and they'll show you why they kick ass and why they belong. Sure. And you don't need to put a hashtag label on everything. I like, selfishly, I think I like the NXT thing because obviously I see myself in a lot of that. I was an indie guy. I was in WWE developmental and told I was never to be brought to television. So I know the struggle, and I think those are the characters that are, for lack of a better word, less tainted. You know what I mean? They still feel new. They're like they're like the new toys.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to be, back eventually, and we can talk more about it.
Oh, yeah, we've got lots to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of wrestling on television.
There's a ton of it. I'm glad that we were able to get your opinion on it now, and we're super obviously happy to have you here on the show. But thank you for filling us in on everything. I think that I can speak for everybody here when I say that we are very excited to have you here on board.
I think a lot of people are as well. And some of the other highlights, there was a promo grading class with, of all people, David Arquette. Yeah, you'll definitely want to go back and watch this if you haven't. As, David Arquette had cut a promo on Booker T with the additional panel of Renee Young and Paige and CM Punk, and Ember Moon was part of that panel as well. I will say that one of the grades given was an F-, so there is that.
I said, shut up!
No, I don't. Well, I won't tell you whether or not he went back to that trope, but nonetheless.
I would hope that Booker T didn't go back to any tropes he had in WCW with promos.
Well, I mean, there were some that were good. Just stay away from that one from April of '97. That's all.
The one I was talking about.
Exactly. But there was also, him going after Tom Arnold, thanks to a little social media smackdown.
I did see that. And also, speaking of social media, the advice he had for Seth Rollins.
Yeah, basically delete Twitter from your phone was what he told him. Stop tweeting.
And then,
exactly.
And then Rollins.
In part because Rollins had, prior to Punk's appearance, in excitement of the news, Rollins' response on Twitter was, "Fight me, CM Punk."
But at the same time, I think he's more talking about the reason that people don't like Seth is because of his Twitter tirades. And the funny thing was when he said stop tweeting, his response to that was he tweeted, "Hell of a response, coward." And then the internet fired back and said, "You're not.
What don't you?
What don't you understand?
Where's Christian Bale when we need him? What don't you understand?"
Oh, good for you. And how was it?
Oh, but yes. All of that noting, the viewership for the program certainly went up about 80% from the previous week.
Ooh.
So, yeah, according to Showbuzz Daily, FS1 that late night, Tuesday, 11 p.m., had 180,000 viewers for Backstage, up from just 100,000 the previous week. So, hey, it definitely got eyes on the product, got people talking.
Yeah. You mean we get to see this man on TV again? In any capacity? Sure, sign me up.
Yeah, one person who we won't see, well, we'll get into him on the other side here because we're late for a break, but, Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy.
Oh, James.
Yeah, oh, James. What? Well, we'll get into that. We've got the predictions certain to go wrong, and another interesting tidbit as far as that registration comeback. All that and more here on Pro Wrestling Weekly on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Lee Piccarello, inviting you to tune in every Friday morning at 8 a.m. to The Head Game, a must-listen show for athletes and coaches of all levels and ages. Mindful Athlete Training in Newtown, Pennsylvania is a mental circuit training program that prepares the athletes to perform at the highest level of today's game. Athletes get into the zone faster and stay there longer. Tune in every Friday morning at 8 a.m. right here on WBCB 1490 AM and throughout the world at WBCB1490.com.
The Bristol Borough Community Action Group Food Bank at 99 Wood Street in Bristol has been serving Lower Bucks County since 1971. It's your monthly tax-deductible donations that allow us to provide food for hundreds of households each month. Please consider a generous one-time or recurring monthly donation at www.givebucks.org. That's www.givebucks.org. Help us help those in need. Please donate today. The Bristol Borough Community Action Group, 99 Wood Street, Bristol, PA 19007.
All commentators heard on WBCB express their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management. Hi, Merrill Reese, inviting you to join me, Delco Times beat reporter Bob Groats, and a different Eagles guest every week for Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA. Listen to the show on both 1490 WBCB and 610 ESPN, or watch our video stream on Facebook Live. We broadcast each week from a different Chickies and Pete's or Parks Casino and Racing location near you. Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA, Tuesday night from 6 to 7 here on 1490 WBCB and 610 ESPN.
The cooler weather has its pest problems such as spiders, bed bugs, roaches, and mice. These problems can be fixed easily and inexpensively with termite proofing and pest control. Call now at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley.
Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, November 23rd. On this date in 1989, the WWF held its Survivor Series pay-per-view. In the main event, Jim Neidhart, Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, and the Ultimate Warrior defeated Andre the Giant, Arn Anderson, Haku, and Bobby Heenan in a Survivor Series elimination match. On this date in 1994, the WWF held its Survivor Series pay-per-view. In the main event, The Undertaker defeated Yokozuna in a casket match with Chuck Norris as special guest referee. On this date in 1997, WCW held its World War III pay-per-view. In the main event, Scott Hall won the 3-ring 60-man Battle Royal. On this date in 2008, WWE held its Survivor Series pay-per-view. In the main event, John Cena pinned Chris Jericho to win the World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 2014, WWE held its Survivor Series pay-per-view. In the main event, John Cena, Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, Ryback, and The Big Show defeated Kane, Luke Harper, Mark Henry, Rusev, and Seth Rollins in a Survivor Series elimination match. This has been Today in Wrestling History, November 23rd.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon here with you alongside Twitch. And a lot to do and little time to do it in.
Yes.
And I don't need to strike that and reverse it like Willy Wonka. All right, AEW. They issued a press release this past Monday to announce 2 themed editions of AEW Dynamite, and the theme may sound familiar to longtime wrestling fans. The theme called Bash at the Beach. It's an unprecedented 9-day experience for superfans that features 2 Dynamite shows and a cruise on board Chris Jericho's tricked-out party ship, as well as non-stop entertainment in between. So it'll start Wednesday, January 15th. AEW Dynamite will be at the Watsco Center at the University of Miami for a Bash at the Beach themed episode, and will continue with Chris Jericho's Rockin' Wrestlin' Rager at Sea, sailing round trip from Miami to Nassau in the Bahamas on January 20th to 24th, and it'll include the biggest names from AEW filmed on his Norwegian Pearl ship, including the January 22nd episode of Dynamite on TNT.
Ooh.
So, Dynamite on a cruise ship. Yes, now...
It'll be like when Nitro was at Spring Break.
Yeah, exactly. That's the Spring Breakout episodes. Yeah, Le Champion did have some words to say about it as well. He said AEW's Bash at the Beach events will deliver 9 unforgettable days of wrestling and much more from the hottest company in the business today. Thousands of the friends of Jericho on board the sold-out Rockin' Wrestlin' Rager at Sea will have the experience of their lives, and now millions more will be able to watch AEW Dynamite along with us as we break out the bubbly together from Miami to the Bahamas. I know I'll be busting out the bubbly looking at that as well.
Yes, and I know that one QT Marshall will be part of the Rock and it's great. All of my compatriots are succeeding. It's great. It's great news.
And we're here.
Yes.
Well, we're still succeeding. We're on the longest running, you know the rest.
Yeah.
Also, the 8th time is the charm. That's right. For the first time since the Wednesday Night Wars, NXT had more viewership than AEW Dynamite. Yeah, 916,000 to 893,000. But a big assist went to these special appearances by the Raw and SmackDown regulars. Will that continue if and when they stop appearing on NXT, though?
I hope
Hard to say. But AEW did have more viewers in the 18 to 49 demographic, so there is that. Also, WWE announcing Monday, December 2nd, another weekly podcast series with a WWE personality in partnership with Endeavor Audio. This one entitled The New Day, Feel the Power. Yes, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Big E. They'll be, riffing on their experiences inside and outside of the ring, and it joins After the Bell with Corey Graves as the second podcast from the WWE Podcast Network. Now, I wanted to get over this quickly, and that's part of why. So the National Wrestling Alliance issued a statement Wednesday announcing that Jim Cornette has resigned from his role as color commentator for the company. The statement noting, quote, as an announcer on the November 19th edition of NWA Power, Jim made remarks during a singles match between Nick Aldis and Trevor Murdoch that were both offensive and do not meet the high standards of decency and good faith of the National Wrestling Alliance. To ensure that such an error can never happen again, we've established new procedures of review for all NWA programming going forward. We sincerely regret our failure in this regard. Now, for those who missed the comment, Cornette described Murdoch's toughness using a folksy colloquialism with a bit of a twist. It involved a certain piece of poultry cooked a certain way in an African country. You can it just goes downhill from there. If you want the direct quote, there's an internet for that, but yeah, it wasn't good. We'll just leave it at that. And quickly to the Survivor Series, as we've got a bunch of matchups here. So, Brock versus Ray for the WWE Championship.
Brock.
That's what I'm thinking as well. Brand Supremacy Triple Threat match. The women's champions of all the respective brands. Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Shayna Baszler.
Becky.
This is a toughie. I'm wildly going to go with Baszler here. I know it's hard to bet against the man, but it's going to be a goodie, that's for sure. Tag Team Brand Supremacy Triple Threat match. The Viking Raiders, New Day, and Undisputed Era.
Undisputed Era. It's either. I hate to say it, but probably not the New Day. So I'm going to go with Undisputed Era. No, I'm going to go with Viking Raiders. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with Viking Raiders.
Oh, ye have little faith with the New Day. I figure it's a good win to help promote their podcast. I'm going with New Day. You're going Viking Raiders?
Yes. I'm trying to not go all
NXT?
Or all Raw or all SmackDown.
Trying to shake it up. I gotcha. Yeah. All right. Now, we'll get all the Brand Supremacy triple threats out of the way. Don't dare call them mid-card titles. U.S. Champion AJ titles. Styles, Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura, and North American Champion Roderick Strong.
Roddy.
I'm going to go Styles.
The fans.
Yes, that as well. Now back to, we'll save the Survivor Series for last. The Adam Cole versus the War Games triple threat winner for the NXT title.
Cole.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's Cole. I'm hoping that's why it's bittersweet as to whether or not Damian Priest wins tonight. The Fiend Bray Wyatt against Daniel Bryan for the Universal title.
My heart says Daniel, my brain says Fiend, so Fiend.
That's where I'm going as well. Now to the respective Survivor Series matches. We'll go women first. No time to mention all the names. Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT.
NXT.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking here as well. And for the men,
Raw.
You're going.
Raw. I don't know. This is difficult. Raw.
You're going Raw. I'm going SmackDown because it's the new flagship show. All right, there's our prediction certain to go wrong, and we have not even 2 minutes for
birthdays.
Good, you don't have to fight for that. 1 + 5 Brucey bonuses. 6, actually. I can't count. On this date in 1974, Eduardo Anibal Gonzalez Hernandez was born. The former 2-time WWE Cruiserweight Champion, 3-time WCW Cruiserweight Champion, and 1-time WCW World Tag Team Champion, known better as Juventud Guerrera, turns 45 today.
Hoovy!
Yes, the juice is loose.
Hoovy? Google it, baby. Google it.
Yeah.
And now...
Yes, I did. And now over to the Brucey bonuses, things outside of the world of wrestling, which is very baseball heavy this week. Ted will appreciate it. Firstly, on this date in 1930, John Aloysius McKeon was born. The former Major League Baseball manager and front office executive who has the distinction of being the oldest manager to win the World Series when he led the Florida Marlins to the title in 2003. At the age of 72, known as Trader Jack McKeon, he turns 89 today.
Wow.
On this date in 1960, Robin Renee Roberts was born, the television broadcaster from ESPN and now host of Good Morning America on ABC since 2005. She's 59 today. This one's for Twitch. On this date in 1971, Chris Hardwick was born, the comedian and host from Talking Dead from the zombie drama series The Walking Dead, Singled Out, At Midnight, The Wall, The Nerdist. Formerly The Nerdist. He turns 48 today. On this date in 1977, Adam Eaton was born, the former MLB pitcher, member of the 2008 World Champion Philadelphia Phillies. He turns 42 today. And to a not-as-liked Philly, in this date in 1980, Jonathan Papelbon was born. The relief pitcher, known from his time from the Boston Red Sox, but also is the all-time save leader for the Phillies from 2012 to 15. He turns 39 today. And on this date in 92, Miley Cyrus was born. She's 27 today. That's it for us. Play us out, Nutsy.
1 o'clock and all's well.
Serving you better than